Hello everyone and welcome back to a brand new video, and today we're going to be talking about my predictions for the F1 2017 season. Now, I have no idea how close these will even be to being right. The whole reason why I've done this is just mainly so, you know, at the end of the season we can have a look back at how most likely how wrong I was overall from this season. Now, I have got some reasoning behind why I've placed some of these teams where they are, and I'm going to run from bottom to top. And in last place next year, guys, from all the teams that we've got on the current grid, unfortunately, I'm going to have to put Mana. Now, I don't really want Mana to be last, but I think, just generally, I think that where their chassis is so underdeveloped usually, and how it's becoming more of a chassis and aerodynamic sport next year, where obviously the power unit, although it still means a heck of a lot in Formula 1 still, I don't think it'll have such a big effect next year. And with the looking like, at the moment, this is recorded if Pascal Wehrlein moves away, if they need to put 2 new drivers in as well. I don't know, as much as I don't want Mana to come last, I think it's just something that's going to happen. And then in 10th place, I have got Haas. Now, this is a bit of an interesting one. I thought this was probably going to cause a little bit of fireworks, if it does cause any. Just because I feel that Haas, I think their first season was incredibly strong. And once again, in all honesty, guys, there is no team on this list that I actually want to do badly. Every team, pretty much, in the sport, I want to do well. But I think Haas just won't be able to have the same effect next year as they did this year. Up into 9th place, then, is Renault. Now, this is, again, a little bit of an interesting one. Putting them above Haas, how dare I. Now, I just think Renault next year, obviously, where they've only just come into the sport once again, they have so much money to develop their car. They should be able to, you know, pick up some good points that next year and hope, well, I reckon they will do quite well. Up into 8th place, then, is Toro Rosso. Now, I think that although it's obviously becoming more of a chassis and aero spot, I think Toro Rosso is still going to struggle next year. But I'd like to think, you know, they could do well, but I don't know about it really. I think we'll see what happens with that. Then up into 7th place, I've possibly made my most optimistic guess here, and I've put Sauber up in 7th place here, guys. I think Sauber, they might actually do fairly well. I'm kind of thinking back to like when they did well in 2015. I'm kind of thinking, you know, they'll do quite well next year. But let's just make this a little bit clear as well, though, guys. I don't think any of these bottom 5 teams will come close to the top 6. I really think there's going to be a huge divide between 7th and 6th place here. And in 6th, I've got Force India. Now, this is quite an interesting one because Force India is really a team that I strongly support in Formula 1. And I really want them to do well, but I think with how developed they were this year, because of their engine, I think that next year they may struggle a bit in comparison to that. A little bit like Mana almost, but obviously a lot less badly. Just I think they will struggle a lot less than Mana will, but I don't think they'll do as well. Up into 5th place then, I've got McLaren. Now, this is a bit of an odd one. I think McLaren are quite probably going to be the hardest team to kind of decide where they're going to be, obviously with the Honda power unit. But I've put them in 5th, you know, just outscoring Force India, but not really getting up to with the big boys at the very top. Now, into 4th place, I put Ferrari, and this is solely because, as we saw in 2014, Ferrari really struggled with the big new rule changes, hence why I've put them in 4th place here on this list, guys. Then up into 3rd place, I've put Williams. Now, Williams, over sort of the last 20 years, I think really, whenever there's been a big change in the car, like the way the car works, Williams have always been really good at the box. But then they slowly kind of fall back. So I've got them in 2017 to be in P3 overall. Then up into 2nd place. Now, obviously, this is between literally just Mercedes and Red Bull now, guys. And in 2nd place, I have got Mercedes. Now, this is obviously going to be a bit of an interesting one because I think with the way Red Bull's aero works and how strong their chassis and aero really is, I think if next year, if they can get a strong car, they will be very, very strong against Mercedes. So I put Red Bull at the top with Mercedes in 2nd place. So, guys, don't know whether I explained that particularly clearly or not. But anyway, guys, I hope you have enjoyed this little video. Don't forget to like, subscribe for more F1 2017 predictions, F1 2016 career mode, F1 2010 career mode, although that career mode is coming to an end very, very soon. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed this video. Hoping, you know, at the end of the season we can look back and laugh at how terribly wrong I got this all when it turns out that Man absolutely walk away with it because they've spent every year since 2010 saving up far too much money to develop this new 2017 car. Thank you for watching, guys, and I will see you in the next one.